Hello everyone and welcome to a very nice game that I played a few moments ago against myself, or rather against my bot on chess.com. There you have it. When the good people of chess.com approached me and they asked whether I wanted to have a bot on chess.com that people can play against, I said sure, but let's make my avatar not only myself but also include Medo, as he's also a pretty big deal here. So I will be playing against myself and Medo here. And of course, the first thing I wanted to check is whether or not, well, my bot would be interested in going for some Evans Gambit action. So without further ado, let's check it out, as it is quite an interesting game. I was actually amazed at myself that the game was so interesting. So let's check it out. I of course went for e4, as I usually do with the white pieces, and my bot replied with e5. I played knight f3, my bot played knight to c6, and I went bishop to c4. This is the Italian game, and of course I'm checking whether my bot is interested to go into some Evans Gambit action, and he is. Bishop to c5 was played, and I immediately went for b4. And yes, the Evans Gambit is indeed on the board here. My bot captured here, bishop captures on b4, which is what you should always do in this position. And here I chased it away with c3. I'm not sure if any of you know, but I made a little tutorial on how to play the Evans Gambit not a while ago, so if you guys haven't seen that, do check it out. I will put a link to it in the description below. It will be the first thing you will see. So here I'm chasing back the bishop. We mentioned there that the bishop to a5 is possible, bishop to c5 not so great, bishop to e7 is possible, and there's even the very interesting defense of bishop to d6. But here my bot goes for the main line, which is bishop to a5. I strike in the center with the d4. We have e captures on d4, and now, well, you want to usually castle here. I prefer the queen to b3 move, as it offers some very interesting play. And here my bot went queen to f6. I never know whether you should go queen to f6 or e7 here. I haven't really done all that much research on this, but I think both is actually fine. So queen to f6, and I just castled here. It's a bit too soon to go for any action in the center of the board, and you still have to worry about this. So I just castle here, hoping that my bot goes for some more pawn grabbing, but that was not the case here. And in that tutorial I made, I often mentioned that bishop to b6 is sort of a key move in every defense black has here, because you want to free up that a5 square for the knight to challenge this queen and the bishop on c4. But here my bot went after I castled for d6. And okay, it's not the greatest maybe of maneuvers, because my bot allows me to just grab the pawn here, and then I haven't really sacrificed all that much. But instead of this capture, I went for bishop to a3, which is a very sneaky maneuver, but it's always dangerous. Okay, if you play this online, maybe in a blitz or a bullet game, maybe it can work, but against a computer, it really shouldn't. So here my bot decided to capture on c3, as now the pawn is defended both by the queen and the bishop here, and I can't really recapture with the knight, and that's a problem because I just lose a piece. So here I instead played e5, just blocking the queen's defense to the pawn, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna capture it next. We have d captures on e5, grabbing yet another pawn, and now I recapture here. Knight captures, and already it can be very dangerous. The knight can come to d5, the knight can come to e4, harassing that queen. So here my bot decided to eliminate this knight. This bishop isn't really doing all that much on a5, and it does seem to be the absolute best move by the engine. So bishop captures on c3 was played. I had to recapture, which is not all that great, as I lose this pressure on the f7 square, but okay. And here bishop to e6, just preparing to trade off the light square bishop. And here I actually missed a good opportunity to go for bishop to b5, but I didn't really see what was all that impressive about it. Yes, I'm threatening to capture here, but bishop to d7 can be playable. And then if I, for example, captures, then I do get to win back my pawn. But then, for example, after queenside castles, it still looks like a very interesting game. Black is still up material, but you know, I can bring my rooks over to the queen side and start some sort of an attack. But I went for a different plan. I went bishop captures on e6, and here my bot captured with f captures on e6. You could also capture with the queen. For example, queen captures, and then I can even go for this knight captures on e5, a temporary piece sacrifice, because, okay, if the queen captures, then you just win the queen with rook to e1, that's game over. And if the knight captures, for example, knight captures, I can still play rook to e1, and it's going to be a very, very interesting game. You have to do something about this, for example, f6, f4, and then the game continues. I still prevent any kingside play, but black is more than welcome to castle queenside, and then it's going to be a very interesting game. So here, after bishop captures on e6, the bot did not capture with the queen, rather with the pawn. And here I just brought my rook 8 to d1. Now, what I wanted to do here was prevent the king from castling kingside, and also I don't want him to be castling queenside. So here, I'm very happy. Even though I'm down material, I'm keeping the king in the center of the board, which is kind of in the spirit of the Evans gambit. And here we have e4. Chasing away my my knight here, but also offering a trade of queens, and I definitely don't want to trade queens. I already sorry, the interface seems to be lagging a little bit. Let me just refresh that. So yeah, we left it off at e4. So after this e4 move, my bot is preparing to capture the knight, but also offering a queen trade. And I do not want to trade queens since I'm down, I can't even see how many pawns, I'm down 3 pawns. So I, of course, played knight to d4. I could also try and go for a temporary piece sacrifice with queen b3, but I decided to go for knight to d4. And here is the moment where the magic happens. Now, what do you play here? So obviously the king has to figure out what to do, whether the king will go queenside, whether the king will stay in the center of the board, whether you want to try and maybe play something like king f7 and then castle kingside, I don't know. But here black is actually better. Black has to play a move that it's not easy to play this move, but if black plays a rook to d8, then my position becomes difficult, because now my knight is attacked 3 times and I really don't have a good response to this. I would have to play bishop to c5, and then black will be black is just better. Black is enjoying his extra material, as I did sacrifice some pawns for the attack. And no, you cannot chase away the bishop with b6 if you're wondering about that, because I can just capture that and then the knight is under attack. That's not a problem. And of course, if knight captures on d4, I can just capture back with the bishop. So that's there's also that. So b6 not an option, but here black doesn't even have to worry about that. Black can just continue with knight g to e7, continue development, and enjoy his pawn's advantage. However, to my amazement, rook to d8 was not played. Or rather, rook did come to d8, but here black actually castled queenside, which seems even better, because now the king is a bit safer, the king castled, and there's still this triple attack on the d4 pawn, and here on the d4 knight. And here I thought, okay, I messed up. I sacrificed some pawns, didn't really work out, but you know, I still looked, and there actually is a win here. So feel free to pause the video and try to find a winning idea here for me while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on trying to sacrifice your queen. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it's knight captures on c6. This is what I played, and I was very happy with this move when I found it. The point is that black's rooks are not connected. So if my queen is accepted with queen captures on c3, I just deliver checkmate with rook captures on d8, and this is checkmate. So this is not an option. But it's not easy to find a move that works here, because if you just win the knight, then just queen captures on c6, and there's queen to a8 checkmate. Not much you can do here. It doesn't matter if you trade rooks, because then the other rook again guards this square, and you are still delivering checkmate here. There's no defense here. And if king to b8, then this also runs into rook to b1 check, and you are again getting checkmated. King c8, queen to a8 check. It's important to notice that the bishop covers all of these squares. So after king d7, rook to d1, and the black king has no more squares. The bishop cuts off the king from here. Queen covers the back rank, and now black would have to give up the queen, and this would end in checkmate. So after I play this knight captures on c6, it doesn't appear that black has a good move. So black finds one, rook captures on d1, just eliminating my rook. And here I should just capture back, rook captures on d1, and then the same thing applies. But I, for some reason, I decided to capture the knight, the pawn here on a7 with check. Point being that, okay, if the king goes king goes to d8, then I'm gonna recapture with check. But if the king goes here, which was played in the game, then I continued with knight to c6 check. My idea was that, well, you can't really go to a8 because this is just checkmate, and if you accept the knight, only then if the knight is accepted, I'm gonna play queen to b3 check, and then I can recapture and continue my mating attack. So here king to c8 was played, and now, only now, I play rook captures on d1, again offering my queen, but the queen cannot be accepted for the exact same reason as if queen captures, then rook to d8 is checkmate. A very nice position that shows how important it is to always connect your rooks, because if you're behind on development, such things can happen. So here my bot captured on c6, but here it's just a game over. You can do queen captures on c6 followed by queen to a8. I played queen to a5. It's kind of the same idea. And here, whatever black plays, that's just game. This is the threat of checkmate, and if you try defending, then we run into the checkmate that we've already seen. King to c8, queen to a8, check, king d7. Now the bishop is nicely slicing all the way here, and rook to d1 check ends the game. The queen has to be given away, and the rook captures on d4 will be checkmate. So here, instead of resigning, which is kind of a shame, I hoped that the bot would resign here, but bot actually played queen captures on f2. But you know, bots are like that. They don't resign. They just you know, play any move that prolongs the game. I capture the queen, e3 check. I capture the pawn, and then king to b7. But now it's a forced mate in 3. Doesn't really matter what you play. I played bishop to c5, now threatening check and mate, and it doesn't matter what black plays. Knight to f6 was played. I played queen a7 check, king to c8, and now queen to a8 checkmate. So I was very, very happy that I was able to win this game. It's the first game I played against my bot, and well, quite a lovely one. I was able to find this offer of a queen sacrifice after this. Well, not so great idea, but it's a fun position because rook to d8, good for black. Rook to d8 with castling, losing for black. I mean, just terrible. So I was indeed very happy to find this. So this is it's the best game I could have hoped for the first game against my bot, and also for the promotion of the Evans Gambit, the greatest opening there is and ever was. So that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do check it out. The people at chess.com asked me if I want to change anything, if I want to add anything. When you play against the bot also talks a little bit about how the game starts. Also, let me just show you. This is what the bot says after the game is over. Let me just find it. Oh yeah, okay. There it is. This is what the bot said. Congratulations, you are a real master of the game. Okay, I maybe wouldn't say that exactly. I would maybe say you are a true master of the game, but it works. You know, maybe something that can be edited later. But I thought if you guys want, you can also try challenging the bot, and then if you guys have any preferences to any lines that I use in my videos or any fun stuff that I say, you can also use suggestions in the comments of this video, and I will transfer them to the good people at chess.com. Maybe they will be able to implement them if they have time. First link in the description below will be an Evans Gambit tutorial. As you can see, I didn't play it like perfectly. The bot was always better up until this point. It's not much. It's +1, so it's definitely playable. If you decide to play the Evans Gambit, you have to be comfortable being down by a centi pawn, by the engine's evaluation. But the bot did play in the spirit of the Evans Gambit, and instead of going for the stubborn defense, allowed me to play this beautiful queen sacrifice. So that's really awesome of the bot. I really really enjoyed that. Hard to say. Very enjoyable game, and I must say I really impressed myself with how, not with the quality of the game, but with how nice the game turned out. So it's the result that matters. All the important links are in the description below, so check that out as well. That's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Derek Lee, Tan Louis Hai, Josh and Jojo Santos, Silas Berlin, and Griffin Bassman for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. continuing the coverage of the Morphe saga, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have fun crushing my bot. See you soon.